Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Today, we'll talk about how to migrate and modernize your applications and associated databases with Google Cloud. My name is Sandeep Brahmarotu. I am a business development lead within Google. So we'll talk about three main things in today's session. The first topic we'll talk about is common challenges customers face when thinking about databases and application modernization. We'll briefly touch on why are customers looking to modernize their database and application portfolio. And lastly, we're going to spend a fair amount of time talking about database migration journey and the framework to really think about and help you aid as you're thinking about your migration journeys. So let's get into it. When we look at typical enterprises today, and we see some of the more simpler workloads have already shifted from on-prem to the cloud. The simpler workloads we generally characterize as lift and shift, taking these workloads as is from on-prem and deploying them on the cloud, really leveraging the infrastructure that the cloud has to offer. We're also seeing customers develop net new applications directly on the cloud, leveraging the innovation that cloud has to offer with some of the cloud native technologies. But as you look at the enterprises, there are a vast amount of applications and workloads that are still on-premise in need of modernization. Some of these workloads could be custom developed applications that customers have developed over the years, leveraging a variety of different technologies into monolithic architectures to really meet their business needs. They carry a significant amount of technical debt as a result. They may be using some open source technologies. Some open source technologies are maintained, others are not, carrying risk. As these architectures have evolved over time, they carry a significant amount of interdependencies between different modules. Some are documented and identified, and others are not. There's a high degree of security and compliance scrutiny on these workloads, and all the while not necessarily documented well. Right? So this is what we typically see when we work with our customers that have vast footprints still on premise. Right? What they're trying to rationalize as they're thinking about moving these workloads to the cloud. And they're trying to do this because they're facing challenges in running these workloads on premises. They want to improve performance that they're getting on-prem. They want to have a better way of scaling these workloads. They want to reduce costs. They want to innovate faster. Right? They want to have better agility as their business demands. They want platforms that can scale. These are some of the things that our customers are facing with and looking for Google and our partners on ways to help them meet these challenges. So let's talk about ways that Google can help your cloud journey. At a high level, Google can help our customers in a couple of different ways. One is offering easy and cost-effective migrations to Google managed services. For example, helping our customer move off of old guard legacy database vendors to enterprise class open source compatible databases, as an example. Google can also help our customers transform by helping them build cloud native applications with our cloud native database solutions with the right level of platform integrations to deliver newer experiences and innovative business models. So really depending on what the application is doing on-prem today and what the future state is that the customers are looking to desire, there are multiple ways we can help our customers achieve their respective goals and objectives. As with most modernization projects, there are inherent risks associated with it. And we want to help reduce our customers the risk associated with their modernization journey. So as we look at these applications and associated workloads on-prem, there are multiple ways we can help our customers migrate and modernize those onto Google Cloud by reducing risk. When we rationalize and assess these workloads, right, and we categorize them into hard or difficult to modernize or easy to modernize or workloads that are much more flexible, there are different paths our customers can take based on that assessment. For example, if there's certain workloads that are very difficult to modernize, there are lots of options for our customers to migrate those workloads and still benefit from the infrastructure that Google has to offer, right? One example could be leveraging, taking Oracle databases and from on-prem to GCP's bare metal solution as an example. If there are workloads that are easy to modernize, there are a variety of different options those customers have on the Google platform, moving from a self-managed operational situation today to a fully managed database offers that Google has to offer. And we'll talk about what are some of the solutions specifically that you can leverage as an example. For workloads that are much more flexible, or workloads that need to be retired or reimagined, right? Or they can take the full power of what cloud has to offer by transforming those workloads and taking advantage of Google's cloud native database offers. So really bucketizing our customers' applications and databases into sort of these buckets gives our customers an easy path to modernization. Sometimes, because of timing considerations, the customers may start off with migrate, but then have the opportunity to modernize and over time transform depending on their timelines, depending on their project and goals. So really, our customers have different options, right? And what we generally see with our customers is that not all workloads sort of fit into one bucket. Some workloads may be best suited for migrate. Others are really optimal for modernization, and whereas some other workloads may be great candidates for transformation and leveraging the cloud native databases. And we'll talk about some framework and how best to figure out which workload should go into which buckets to help you rationalize this. So let's talk about Google Cloud's database offers. As you look at on this slide, there are multiple different database service offers that Google has to offer to our customers. Depending on the type of application and the use case a customer has, we have the right database solutions for you to consider. So on the left-hand side, you see our in-memory data store or memory store to our relational database offerings with our bare metal solution for Oracle. With Cloud SQL, we have solutions for MySQL workloads, PostgreSQL workloads, and SQL Server workloads. AlloyDB is a new application, database, I should say, that we've recently launched. We're super excited about that. Cloud Spanner, we're providing the global scale and consistency that our customers are leveraging from, to some of our document store with Cloud Firestore and Key Value with Cloud Bigtable. So our customers truly have an option to selecting the right database architecture as they're looking to either migrate, modernize, or transform. And we help to achieve this by offering the right tooling for our customers, both with our partners as well as Google's own tooling. For example, the database migration service is a great tool our customers leverage today to help them migrate their databases workloads from sources to targets onto the Google Cloud. Data Stream for change data capture. These are just some examples of Google tools as well as third-party tools that you can leverage to aid in your migration journey. So let's now talk about some key steps to be successful with your database migration projects. Every database migration project at a high level has 6 main steps, starting with the discovery and assessment, having the right success criteria established for your migration project, setting up the initial environment for the migration, then doing the data migration itself, doing the appropriate validation after the migration to ensure the results are coming as expected, and then having the right rollback strategy. right? Having these critical steps defined is super critical for our customers to ensure their migrations are successful. So let's take a even closer look at the migration journey itself. Right? If you think about the customer's migration journey, we can bucketize these into sort of three main phases. There's the discovery and assessment phase, there's a planning phase, and there's the execution phase. And across each one of these phases, there are specific activities that a customer typically goes through. You don't have to go through every single one of these, but these are generally what we see our customers go through. There are specific tools that Google offers and our partners offer to help our customers in this process. There's specific offers that Google has to reduce the risk and help accelerate your migration journey. And we have the right level of expertise or experts to offer to help you every step of this journey. Let's take a closer look at each one of these phases. So in the discovery and assessment phase, customers are typically gathering their requirements. They're asking the hard questions and why are they migrating? What are they hoping to achieve as a result of these migrations? They're getting themselves familiar with the database technologies that I just talked about in the previous slide, right? Getting smarter about some of how to operate databases in the cloud, learning more about Cloud SQL or AlloyDB or Cloud Spanner, right? Understanding the target state options is super critical so you can figure out which workloads do you want to move to which target. Understanding what inventory the customer has, like what apps do I have today? Some customers have a good inventory management systems and others don't, right? But it's super important to getting a good grip on what apps and databases are currently deployed on premise so that you can figure out a plan to migrate those to the cloud. Doing the right level of assessment is super critical, right? Categorizing them into level of complexity, which can then determine the level of effort required from a migration standpoint. Developing the right business case, right? Oftentimes customers just focus on technical aspects of migrations, but not having the right business case within the organization could be a potential impediment down the road. So addressing this upfront is super critical. So ensuring that not only the database teams have the right business case, but aligning with the appropriate business and application owners internally is just as critical, because a lot of times our customers are not just migrating databases. They're migrating the databases and the associated application workloads together as part of the journey to the cloud. There are tools I talked about. MakeVisor as a partner tool that helps with the discovery and assessment. StrataZone is a Google tool that our customers leverage for discovery. So I talked about many different assessment offers to help our customers sort of demystify this, right? Like which databases are really hard, which applications are monolithic that potentially need to be broken into smaller chunks. So doing the proper level of assessment upfront is super critical. At the same time, immersing yourselves into the target services that Google has to offer is also critical. So as you develop more awareness, the more likely and more comfortable our customers get in moving their workloads to the cloud native and the cloud managed database offer that Google has to offer, as well as the partners and the ProServe and the Google experts. And these could be a project management or product management resource, engineering resources as needed, right? Working with your Google account team, and they can then bring in the right experts as needed. Planning is another important phase. Won't have time to go through every single one of these boxes you see on here, but super important, right? Doing the right level of proper planning upfront, the right POC or pilot, doing a detailed business case, having the right skill set, enabling your organizations to be able to operate in a cloud managed environment for your database and application workload, super critical. We have a variety of different tools to do the appropriate level of data movement or data conversion with DMS or Compiler Works or Ice or some of our partner tools like iSpire and Stream. We have lots of hands-on workshops and Hackfest to help you rationalize it. So if you want to migrate and you want to start off with a sample set of workloads, we're happy to come in and do a workshop for you. Just reach out to your Google account teams for details on qualification and the right engagement model for you to get the help that you need. And the expertise, right? We're kind of making this more generic, but there's a variety of different Google expertise resources that we can bring to bear depending on the need. As an example, working with the right partners. We have very strong database migration partners that prescribe to our methodology that you can leverage, so that you're leveraging the Google best practices for migrations, as well as pro-serve organization as well. The last phase is execution, right? Execution is just as critical. Once you've done the proper level of discovery assessment, the proper level of planning, now executing this at scale, right? With the right level of testing, validation, optimization, building the right automation, and building a playbook that you can rinse and repeat is super critical. So again, I kind of went through this very fast, but this is super important as you kind of go through the process. It's a proven process. We've got very defined phases, and we're here to help you every step of the journey as you're thinking to modernize your applications and associate databases to Google Cloud. So now that we talked about the journey, I don't want to repeat myself, but I want to just sort of give the same information in a migration framework perspective, right? We talked about the discovery and assessment, how important discovery and assessments are up front, and leveraging the right tools and providing the right inputs to produce the right outputs that you can then review and do the proper planning for your migration itself, right? Again, as you're thinking about the target state design, like, having the right assessment reports will help our customer determine which one should I migrate, which one should I modernize or transform, right? How do I select the right database engine based on my requirements for performance or for scalability or resiliency, availability, and monitoring, backup, right? All of that stuff is super important, leveraging some of the Google best practices guides, and then documenting all of that into producing an output, a design document, then the team can then take and plan a detailed migration. And as we talked about before with execution and closing, right? It's really important in leveraging these different tools and then providing the right level of outputs then that your migration teams or your partners or Google's professional services teams can then take an advantage of and then repeat and rinse and repeat this at scale. So we covered a fair amount of ground today. We talked about some of the challenges customers are facing with their application and database modernizations. We talked about why they're thinking about doing this. We talked about the Google database portfolio that you can leverage as you think about Google Cloud. And we talked about the migration journey in a couple of different ways across the 3 phases, as well as the framework associated with it. With that, you now have choices to move forward with. You can start off doing these migrations on your own if you have the people and the staff to go do it. Right? We've got the documentation, the playbooks, the tooling, and the associated videos and experts to assist you if you were doing it yourself with the database and application migrations. If you want to leverage a partner, which we highly recommend that you do, we have a broad network of certified partners that you could choose from that can assist you every step of your migration journey. Or you can reach out to your Google team, and we're happy to engage our professional services organization to collaborate with you to ensure your project is successful. Regardless of which option you take, we hope that you move forward with your migration journey, and you start with an assessment, right, and a discovery with Google, and it's risk-free. So we'll reach out to your Google account team, and they will reach out to us to help you start it with your migration journey. With that said, I really want to thank you all for joining today. I hope you learned something new, and you're excited just as I am about taking the next step with your database and application migration journey. Thank you very much, everyone.